Good morning. Yeah, sorry, it's just a little bit later than I promised. I know I said about 9:30, so hopefully, Maria, that's not too bad for you and you're still kind of awake and not kind of too away with other people at the minute. I'm just going to do a couple of little invites again, so hang on a second. Just let everybody know who we're here. I know there's a couple of people that said they couldn't attend, so that's fine. I know they're working and stuff. So, yeah, apologies for being a little bit late. No huge excuses, really, apart from the fact that, one, I overslept a little bit this morning. And also, when I went online to check the workbooks had been delivered and emailed fine, it turns out that the link doesn't look like it's working properly. I don't know if you guys get it okay, but I know when I click on the version that I've got, what it does is it just takes me to Canva's website for some reason. So I will just do a rerun email of that now. So give me about sort of 10 minutes or so and I will resend you the email if you are waiting for it. So just very quickly, I think yesterday's live I probably got a little bit excited, and what I'd maybe forgotten a little bit is that I had broken the workbooks down into two halves. So some of the stuff I covered yesterday is included in today's workbook. So for those of you that watched the live yesterday, you're ahead of the game. So basically what I was talking about yesterday, which is linked for today's workbook, is when we get people's opinions or feedback and the way we react to it, so and how that impacts our self-doubt. So for instance, we were talking around when people say things but what they actually mean. So I've got into a little bit more detail in the workbook today, so hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. But what I'm referring to is, say for instance, somebody, I gave you the example yesterday of when I was at work and my boss told me not to go for a job. So that's the kind of thing that we're looking at today. So I probably kind of covered the two workbooks in one Facebook Live actually, so just being much more organised obviously and totally meant to do it. But yeah, it's more about kind of saying, right, okay, when somebody says I'm not good enough, what is their intention? So what is the reason why they're saying it? And basically there are usually three reasons why people say things they say. They are saying it with good intention, they're saying it to be a bitch, and also what I want to introduce today is what we call the third party bitch. So this is when you're given some information by somebody that doesn't offend you or impact your self-doubt, and then somebody else gets hold of that information and they twist it into something that then does create some self-doubt and does start to make you feel a little bit bad about yourself. So say for instance you apply for a job and you go for the interview and it all goes really well, but unfortunately you don't get the job this time. After the interview, and the person interviewing you says, right, well, we'll give you some feedback on your performance during the interview. So they may say to you, right, there were a handful of reasons why you didn't get the position. You're not experienced enough. You know, the other person we've given the job has been doing this job before, so, you know, less training involved. But also just some feedback for you is you came across quite shy in the interview, and you need to be a bit more confident about yourself. You need to sell yourself a little bit more, things like that. Now you'll come away thinking, okay, so, you know I can be, I know my self-doubt can get in the way, and I know that sometimes I don't, sell myself particularly well because I don't like saying nice things about myself. And then you'll tell somebody else and you'll say, oh yeah, they said this, this, this and this, and then they said this. And rather than picking up on their lack of experience or the fact that the other person had more experience of the job, they will pick up on the piece of personal information that was given to you. So they'll pick up on the bit around your shyness or whatever, and they will say something along the lines of, well, I knew your shyness would get in the way. I knew that would stop you getting the job. Or you'll get something along the lines of, what, they said that? I can't believe they did that. What, and you're all right with that? You're happy with that? So what they're doing is they're taking a piece of harmless information that's been given to you that wasn't intended to create self-doubt or upset, and they twist it into something different. And they always do this because they're not nice people. Very rarely is this done with good intention. They are, I've got your back, buddy. You know, I'm there for you. But what they're doing is making you feel shit about yourselves. And it is completely intentional. And I don't like to say it, but predominantly this is more of a female thing. But there are men that do it. This is not just bitchy women. There are a lot of guys that do this as well, especially in certain industries. When it is a competitive industry, they are very likely to act like this. And it is to keep the competition where they want it. Even if you're in the different industry, even if you're not in competition, everybody's competition in some of these roles, especially things like finance and stuff like that, and sales and things, because they never know where you're going to end up. So if you're looking for a new job, there is a really good chance that at some point one day you are going to end up in sales. I'm just going to move out the light a little bit. So there is a point somewhere where you may end up being in competition with them, and they don't want you to be somebody that they have to fight against. So, God, I went from yesterday being in the dark to today being too bright. So, hang on. Shan, could you shut that door over for me, please, darling? Just see if that blocks out some of the light. That's better. So, what we've got is this kind of competitive nature. And in women, it tends not to be so much of a being competitive. It's just that sometimes women aren't very nice people. And sometimes they're just bitches. And that's just life and how it is. They learn it at school. They get away with it at school. And it stays with them into adulthood. Unfortunately, those girls that were nasty in the playground growed up to be nasty in the workplace. Some of them sort themselves out. Some of them, you know, like we said about learned behaviour yesterday, they will meet a nice guy and they will have children and they will find a new way round things and they change. Or they get into a different group of girls where actually their nastiness they don't get away with, and these new group of girls will put them in their place and they learn new behaviour. The behaviour like a total cowbag isn't going to get very far, and they change. But quite often, people that acted nasty and acted like this at school will grow into adults that still act like this, and unless they're put in their place or they learn new behaviour, they will continue to act in old behaviour because they've learnt nothing new. So, you know, you see it at work. And, you know, I am going to be covering in one of my Facebook Lives on the group in a few weeks' time about workplace bullying, because there's a lot at the moment about school bullying and stuff. And I think it seems to have been forgotten that actually adults suffer this hugely as well. And there is a lot of adults that suffer with a bit of bullying at work, and so I want to cover that a little bit as well. But staying on track. So, what this workbook for today is about helping you to understand how you react differently. Now, I haven't put in lists of phrases and words to use because you could be there forever. But what you've got to do is think about your positive, negative reactions. So it's very simply, it's taking a negative word and creating a positive out of it. So when you're told you can't do that, then your change of that phrase is you can't do that at the moment. And what you're doing is you're adding a positive impact to it. So it's not you can't do it, it's you can't do it right now. And actually, you might not be able to do it right now. And that's fine, like we discussed yesterday with, you know, me climbing Mount Everest, which is never going to happen. You know, it's about saying, okay, they're telling me what they know with the information they have right now. Not what the future could hold. Not what's in me, how determined I am. Now, I don't know about you, but I suffered years with self-doubt. And I know lots of people say, you know, I'm quite confident on these lives and things like that. But you have no idea. Some of the people on the group that are my friends and my family will know much more about the amount of doubt that I went through for a really, really long time. And it's only when I got poorly that I really started to push myself in a different way and really start to change negatives to positives, because negativity and stress caused me so many problems. I had to really work hard on finding a way to make angry or aggressive situations not aggressive so that I didn't suffer for them. So I've learned over the last 5 or 6 years a great way of building my confidence and knocking the self-doubt down. I never would have started my own business a few years ago. I've wanted to do this for 10 years, 15 years, because I loved coaching. As soon as I got qualified in coaching, it was what I wanted to do. And for years, people said, oh, you should go on your own. You should do it yourself. No chance. There was no way I would have had the confidence to leave my job, set up my own business and coach people. You know, I coach people because I loved coaching, and I was always amazed at how well people did out of it. You know, I really doubted myself, even though there were lots of people that did well from the coaching and told me that I was great at it. I would still kind of, yeah, well, maybe it was an easy subject. There was always a reason why it worked, and it was never because of me. Whereas now, I'm not arrogant about it. And you do have to be careful, a line between confidence and arrogance. Nobody likes arrogance. But you need to be able to say, what am I good at? And there are things you're good at. And we don't allow ourselves to think of those things. So you might be a good cook. You might be a good parent. You might be a good partner. You might be really good at, I don't know, cleaning the oven. It doesn't have to be third world resolution type things that you're good at. But you are good at stuff. You just have to find what they are. And then you have to find the words around that support you. And words that you kind of go, yeah, you know, that's going to help me. Oh, hi Dave, how are you? So, you know, there is no way that you can just wake up one day and go, yeah, I don't doubt myself anymore. It's hard work, and it is constant work. And you have to keep doing it, to keep reminding yourself, because remember, this is a learned behaviour. This is almost part of your personality now, because it's in your brain. Your brain has decided that you don't think highly of yourself, you're not confident, and you don't think a lot of yourself. And you have to turn that around in your brain by going, not anymore. Now I do. Now I do love myself. Now I am good at stuff. I put myself out for people. I'm a good person, and I'm going to start to feel confident about myself. And you can do it. You just need the tools to do it. And the biggest set of tools that you need is you. And the second set of tools that you need is some positive words. So there's an exercise in the workbook from today that I'll email you after to make sure that you get the right version. For anybody who's got the right version, that's fine, but just in case anybody else hasn't. That just has some tips, and it has a little exercise in there for you to write down what you would say. So, you know, what nice things would you say? So if somebody said to you, I had an interview and they said that I lacked confidence and I was really shy and that didn't help me. Okay, so what would you say to that person? Would you say, yeah, you are quite shy, you should probably give up and not apply for that job because you're not very good at it? No, you wouldn't, would you? You'd say, really? So they said that you're too shy. Okay, so what are you going to do to get over that? What are you going to do for next time? How are you going to, change that? And that's a coaching phrase. But even if you're not a coach, if a friend came to you and said, I've been told I can't do this, you would say, why not? Let's give it a go. Find a way around it. You would. You just don't give yourself that information because we decide that we can't do it and we decide that the doubt is bigger. So you need to start reacting different. That's all it is. I say all. It's not easy, but that's the only piece of information you need. So when somebody says something to you, you need to react differently to it so you don't absorb it. So like that whole week of feedback we did, part of why we did that was leading into this workshop. All that learning about, what you can accept as feedback and what you can throw away and all of that all leads into self-doubt. So you have to react differently, but you have to react differently to yourself as well. So when you see an advertisement in the job section of a newspaper or at work and you go, I'd love to do that, but I can't, you need to give yourself a good slap, not too hard, don't be mean to yourself, but you need to give yourself a good shove into reality and then look at it again and go, can I do it? Is it I can't do it right now and I need to obtain some new information, or I need to practice something more, or I need to learn something new, or I need to go back to those workbooks from Tina and give myself a kick up the bum and build up my confidence again? Or is it I can't do the job? So if you're looking through the newspaper and there is something in there that says that Milton Keynes Hospital want a brain surgeon, okay, don't apply for the job right now. But if you really wanted that job, really wanted that job, then you go to university and you train. Simple as that. Okay, it might take you 10 years to get that job, but if that's what you want to do, that's the work involved to get you there. So that's like high level. Most people's self-doubt are just things like they don't feel like they should wear certain clothing, or they shouldn't, go out on a date and stuff. But it's exactly the same. So if you're in a new relationship and you feel that this person's too good for you, why? Why are they too good for you? What is it about them that is better than you? So do yourself a pros and cons list if you like. So is it that you think they're better looking than you? They're a 10 and you're a 4. Bollocks, sorry. Remember what we said yesterday about people's perception of them. Yeah, so to them, you may be a lot more. You give yourself a 4 because your hair's going grey and you're getting old looking. That's me. But somebody out there thinks you're bloody amazing. And there's a few people out there that think you're a bit of a troll. That's fine. That, the balance of life and all of that, it keeps it in line. Not everybody needs to walk down the street going, oh my God, he's so fit or she's so amazing. But somebody is. You just need to find the person that thinks you're the 10. Or a 5 or a 6. It doesn't matter because, let's face it doesn't really count. But if you're saying that, oh, they're too good for me because they're too good looking. No. In your opinion, they're really good looking. They might have exactly the same doubts. They might doubt themselves just as much. They might be looking in the mirror every day thinking, oh my God, I've got old looking. I can't believe she's with me. And that's, that's the crux of it. Self-doubt is not real. It's not the truth. It's just your perception. It's what you tell yourself. So you need to tell yourself something different. And that's it. That's what it is. So the exercises in the book today are about helping you to find new ways of speaking to yourself and find new ways of talking to other people. So when you have got somebody saying to you, you can't do that, you come away with, they said I can't do that right now, because it stops it sitting in there and festering and creating this doubt. But also what it's doing, it's still keeping the feedback, which you might need and might be true, but it's adding a when can I do it to the list. It also will help you to work out who's just an absolute arse and who you should completely ignore. So that's fine, because then you can just ignore those people. And then it's helping you to work out who your third party bitches are and how to ignore them too, because their opinion is nothing. They're just nasty people. So I want you to look a little bit into things like, what would I say? So every time you're given a piece of information that hits your self-doubt, or every time you say something to yourself around your self-doubt, I want you to stop and then think, what would you say to somebody else? Because let's face it, most of the people in this group are parents, children, and good friends. So every one of you in this group will at some point have been asked some information and asked an opinion on something. What do you say? So unless you're one of the bitches, which I doubt because I don't tend to be friendly with people that aren't nice. But if you are one of those people where you would say to somebody, oh, you need to give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? What if it's really great? So there's the old saying of what if I can't? What if you can? And there's a post I'm going to put on the group in a little while, which I love, which says, what if I fall? And it says, yes, darling, but what if you fly? It's exactly that. What if? And tomorrow we cover quite a lot about what ifs, which I'm looking forward to. And that will give you a little bit more, if you're struggling on today's, a little bit more help in how to do that. Also, in the workbook today is my state management. So state management is a bit of NLP, and it's a circle, and it's the way we behave is the way other people react. and the way other people react affects the way that we behave. So there's two of them in there. There's one which is just what I say to myself affects the way I act. So if I'm going out for a night out and I look at myself and I think, I look really nice, I really like this dress. So for my birthday on my 40th, I was really nervous because I've not been well for a while, and I thought it's just going to be really crap because I'm not well, and my hair was going grey, and I just felt really old, and you know, all my nieces and nephews and stuff are all at that age, and I just thought, God, I'm in that next generation now. I've become that person. And I got a new dress for my birthday to wear for my barbecue that Chris had arranged, and I put it on and I did my hair, and I just felt really nice. And I'm not saying, oh, I was gorgeous, but I felt really nice. It was a rockabilly dress I'd wanted for years and years and years. I had my hair done rockabilly. I had bright red lipstick, which I don't wear because I just wouldn't wear anything that would attract anybody to me. God forbid. But I didn't. I had bright red nail varnish, bright red lipstick, bright red and black dress, and I just felt lovely. And I got loads of compliments on that day of people going, oh my God, you look great. Now, how much of that was because I did look great, and how much was just because I was oozing that confidence because I felt great? And I did. I felt really lovely, and I had an amazing time. And the whole time I just thought, oh, I feel really nice. If I'd had me jogging bottoms on and me big slouchy t-shirt, I might not have felt as nice. And when I don't feel particularly well, I have a really great big fat pink cardigan that I wear, which is, my I feel sorry for myself cardigan. And it doesn't help because all it's doing is I'm reinforcing the I feel sorry for myself because I'm wearing my I feel sorry for myself stuff. What I should do is, if I feel really shit, I should go and put on something that I feel nice in. But generally you don't, do you? You put your comfies on and you sit there and you feel sorry for yourself. And that's how it works. That's how your state management works. The way we behave is what we say to ourselves. So if we wake up and we feel crap, we will say to ourselves, you look crap. Because you've told yourself you look crap, you now feel crap. Because you know you feel crap, you act like you feel crap, which means that the whole day at work, every time anybody asks you how you are, what do you say? Feel shit. All of those kind of things. You are reinforcing yourself. You're telling yourself that there is, that you're crap, and then so you act crap, so you think you're crap, and, we're going on and on and on. But basically that's it. And that's the same in every situation. I can't cook dinner shit. It just keeps going round and round and round. Now, the next page takes that into a second level, which is, okay, now you've told yourself you're rubbish and you've made yourself feel rubbish. Now you're doing it to other people. And you will, because there's a great thing that I do called the mood frog, which I'll go into in much more detail another time. But you have now started carrying around the mood frog. You are the mood frog. And what you're doing is you are making other people feel bad about you. Not about themselves, but about you. So you get to work, or you go to a wedding, or whatever it might be. So let's use an example of feeling fat, okay? There is nobody on this group who's fat, so we use that as an example. So you get up in the morning and you think, I feel fat. So you put on a great big oversized dress or shirt or whatever, and you think, oh, I look fat. And you go out for the day and you go to a wedding or a party or whatever, and you meet somebody and they say to you, oh, you look lovely. Because let's face it, everyone wants to be nice. So even if you look like an absolute heifer, most nice people are going to say to you at a wedding, oh, you look lovely. And you go, yeah, but I feel really fat and I look fat. And it's all said with the grumpy face, and then they go, oh, okay. Fine. And then they're like, oh, back off. That person's a little bit in a good mood. So they walk away. Are they going to come back and talk to you later? Probably not, because you're quite aggressively grumpy and they don't really want to be around you because you're not in a good place. So what you've done is you've alienated yourself now. And then what you'll do is you'll say, nobody spoke to me all night and I didn't even call or anything because I'm really fat. No. It wasn't the fat bit that stopped people talking to you. It was this. It was this telling people how rubbish you are or how awful you are. That's what stopped people talking to you. And it's exactly the same at work. If you go for an interview and you sit down and that interviewer says to you, okay, so tell me your strong points, and you haven't got any. I'm rubbish. I lack confidence. My timekeeping's not great. I can't really do my job. I'm surprised I'm still employed, actually, because I'm so rubbish at my job. They're going to be going, oh, okay, do you think they're going to give you the job? They're not, are they? And then they'll say to you, yeah, we didn't give you the job this time. And then you're like, yeah, see, I told you I was rubbish, that I didn't even get that job. Well, no, you didn't get that job because you told them you were crap at everything. That's why you didn't get that job. So you need to start believing in yourself. And I know you're doing this workshop because you don't believe in yourself. And the levels of how much you don't believe in yourself will be different for everybody. And some of you will be just a slight little thing that raises its head now and again. Other people will be completely... Sorry, I just had a phone call. It'd be completely debilitating in your life. So it is about kind of saying, you know, how much does this affect me? Which is what we covered yesterday. You know, what is it stopping you doing? Depends on how much of this you have to do. But that's it. That's all it is for you. It's about changing your mindset, changing the way you believe in things. And I will cover some more on mindset and mindfulness, maybe on this course, maybe on a different course, because mindset and mindfulness is a huge subject. It'd be like trying to fit NLP into 10 minutes. It just wouldn't happen. But it is about, you have to believe in yourself, because if you believe in yourself, you act like you believe in yourself. If you act like you believe in yourself, other people believe in you. If people believe in you, they say things to you to show that they believe in you, which means you believe in yourself, which means you say that you believe in yourself, which means other people believe in you, which means they say things to show they believe in you. Do you see where I'm going here with my circle, going round, around, around? If you say mean things to yourself, then you cannot expect other people to not agree with you, because you know you best. So if you say to people, I'm a horrible person, then people are going to go, okay, yeah, you're horrible. Because they're not going to try and prove you wrong, are they? They're not going to become your best friend and allow you to be horrible to them. They're going to accept what you say as being true. So you're not a horrible person, you're a lovely person. And then people go, oh yeah, he's a lovely person. And then they go to other people, yeah, he's lovely. And then you start to believe it too. And over a course of time, you become a lovely person. Although most of you already are. You just don't see it yet. So think about the things in the books, yesterday's and today's, the things that are said to you all the time. So things that make you doubt yourself. And then today's book, I want you to start thinking about how you can say those differently, how you can create a different phrase book, how you can create a different vocabulary for yourself. So instead of I can't right now. Instead of I won't right now. I won't because. Yeah, it's about just giving yourself a different set of phrasings. And this won't work in every circumstance. You know, there are exceptions to every rule. There are some things you can't do. There are some things you're not very good at. That's okay. You don't have to be good at everything. You might be an amazing painter and decorator, but a crap driver. Okay. Now, the way you resolve that, if you really want to, is you take more lessons, you relearn, you know, you become a better driver. Or you accept you're not a great driver, but you're a great painter and decorator. Depends what you want for your job. Depends what you want out of life. If driving is something you do once in a blue moon, it doesn't matter. You know, you've got to give things scores. So all of those things that you've said to yourself, I can't do, or I'm not very good at, rate them 1 to 10. How important are they to you? You know, there are things I can't do. A lot of things I can't do. I'm crap at most things, really, that are practical. I'm not very good at drawing. I'm not very good at DIY. I mean, you know, painting. I love painting, but it's impossible for me to not go on the wall or not go on the skirting board or not go on the ceiling. I have a little bit of a shaky hand, so I'm always like this. And you know, every house that we've ever lived in where I've been involved in the painting, there's a splodge of one colour eking into the other. Now, yes, I could resolve that by using masking tape and doing it all professionally and buying all the stuff, but I don't want to do that because I don't do it enough and it isn't hugely important to me. I love painting. When I paint, I splodge it sometimes. But if someone said to me, oh, would you paint my house? No way. And that's not because I doubt myself. It's because no way I would mess it up. I would end up getting splodges on their wall and they wouldn't like it. But if actually I wanted to get into art and crafts and stuff like that, then I would just have to learn to get that bit right. And then if somebody said to me, will you paint my house? I'd be going, oh my God, yes, that's a great opportunity. So you just need to start weighing up the things that are important to you, the things that aren't, and then the things that are important to you, you need to start selling them differently to yourself. And you need to start selling yourself differently to other people. So I really want you to have a think about that today. And there's probably one of the exercises in there, you know, you may need to have a cup of tea or a beer with as well, because it is, you know, it might be a little bit taxing and you might have to really think about it a little bit, because it is about finding out why people have said things, you know, were they doing it for best intentions, were they doing it because they weren't very nice, and there's some stuff in there about changing that into how would you say it to somebody else, you know. And one of the analogies I like is, don't say anything to you that you wouldn't say to your children or your best friend. Because if you're a mum or a dad, you will know that negative thinking is terrible for young children. So if your child is in a bad way and you say something negative to them, you're going to make them doubt themselves. And we try really hard to keep our kids up there and keep them, you know, believing in themselves and uber confident. So if your kid did a drawing for you and it was meant to be a dinosaur and it looks a bit more like a duck, you know, you might say to them, oh, that's a lovely duck. And they go, no, Mum, no, Dad, it's a dinosaur. Would you go, well, then it's a shit dinosaur because it looks like a duck? You wouldn't. If you do, you shouldn't, right? So that's what you say to yourself. You know, give yourself the same love and the same support that you give your kids. Or if you don't have children, that you give your best friend. And that's the very simple crux of how to crawl yourself out the start of self-doubt and how to start believing in yourself. You have to love yourself. And I don't mean you need to be walking around kind of going, oh, I'm so great, I'm so wonderful. I'm not suggesting you stand in the mirror every day saying, you know, I am awesome, I am fantastic, and all of that kind of thing, because, you know, you're not there yet. But self-love is about believing in yourself, and belief is about loving yourself. So you've got to pick one and start somewhere. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Tomorrow we'll be talking more about law of attraction, which is a brilliant subject that I'm really learning and love. And it's about, you know, what you want is what you get. You know, so if you think positively, you get positively. So I'm going to spend some time thinking about being a millionaire, and that's what's going to happen, hopefully. Yay, let's see. So we'll talk about law of attraction. I'm also going to be introducing a butt kicker. Very exciting. So look forward to that. And we're going to be doing some journaling, which I know some of you will really love, and some of you will be going, oh my God. But it's good and it is needed. So, right, I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.